Everyone, we are in the top 8 of the Galactic Championship. We are on Coruscant. It is in. The bets are being opened, and a familiar foe is on the table. Some would say that this foe is too strong. Some would say that this foe has been hurt. Some would say that we would have never seen these ships again. Faan Langelaan, two-time Galactic Championship qualifier champion, bringing back the bugs, a new form, an evolution, the next step in the Geonosian Hive. I don't know, but I think it required the epic music in the background for this announcement. I'm joined by my man,
Ryan Moisture Farmer. And I tell you what, Dion, this is a heavyweight matchup. Faan Langelaan, whose record surpasses that of even the most skilled X-Wing players, having lost, is one game? like 5 qualifiers, and Brendan Morrissey hoping that he can squash these bugs with some resistance salad. So let's talk about Faan's squad. Let's break this down a little bit. You can no longer bring 6 Nantex, but you can bring 5. And he's bringing 5 of these stealth guys in Hive guards with crack shot. Great. We already know. We've talked about it at length, how good these things are in the joust. And he's just taking a chunky 5-hull Techno Union bomber to round it out there. Still excellent. I was wondering if anyone would attempt the 5 Nantex to see what it can do. And we've seen Faan already a lot of success with it. Great success. Brendan, on the other hand, going with a resistance salad. 2 Red Squadron experts with heroic, 1 with R5D8, and then he's got Rose Tico with crack shot, and Finn with heroic, advanced optics, and perceptive co-pilot. The punchiest of Finns that you can get. That thing will hit like a Mack truck. And of course, our favorite bearded legend, Meryl Cobbin, with intimidation and automated target priority. What do you think, Dion?
You know, going into this, I'm super excited. If you haven't yet, you should be able to choose your champion. People are doing it right now. I'm going to tell you, Ryan, I'm super excited about this. Now, a couple things about Faan, the decisions he had to make. He had to go down from the Initiative 4 to the Initiative 3s.
Yep.
Wasn't able to squeeze in a 6th one, and those points that were left over, just a Techno Union bomber. You know, I'm curious to see how this rolls out, and yeah, I'm super excited. I think we deserved the epic music intro, and we'll fade it out now.
There's some excellent music. Well done, Dion. I am just very, very, very curious about whether that initiative drop is going to come into play here. What do you think, Dion?
Well, honestly, I think it ends up being to Brendan's advantage just a little bit. I know that this is a matchup that we wouldn't have, it wouldn't have happened without the points change, and Faan would have just brought the 6 of them. But the fact that Brendan has that matched initiative at Initiative 3 makes a big difference. But, of course, one of the other things is the fact that Brendan is also the first player, okay?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my God, people, we're just trying to have a good time. You're spoiled. Come on, chat, relax. Sorry. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I just ate it. Haven't quite digested. Still a little grumpy. But anyway, I want to focus on the game. We're gonna close the chat window for a little bit. We're gonna let you guys be. I need to get in the mood for the chat. So one of the things I'm just looking at is the fact that Brendan is the first player. So essentially, these bugs are still going to operate in that same place that they did before. They're going to be able to see where the opponent moves and then use the advantage of knowing that information to do their tractor shenanigans. Now, one of the things I'd be worried about in this matchup is just for the fact that Brendan did bring a lot of guns, a lot of highly modified guns as well. So we'll see how how Faan ends up being able to keep his bugs alive, especially with the fact that when they take that tractor, they go down to 2 agility.
Yeah, exactly. And I've played a lot of this Finn that Brendan has on the board, a lot of it, and you can expect 3 hits essentially on every single shot with this Finn that you do. And then if you lose him, he's still, I mean, he's 42 points. He's pretty chunky, but it's not that bad, right? And if you're wasting shots on Finn or Rose, I worry that Meryl won't be able to get that intimidation off or anything. But if the one good thing is these Nantex want to bullseye things, and Meryl wants to be in bullseyes, right?
Yep.
So if it all depends on where this joust happens. Clearly, Faan has deemed himself, he does not want a straight joust against Brendan. He's decided, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna have to figure out where the engagement's gonna happen. If he wants it to occur behind these clouds, if he wants to get it behind those asteroids. I am very intrigued.
Yeah, and with this kind of going around the clouds and the asteroids, the question always comes in, Brendan has a squad that is a bit more formation based. Is the fact that having to turn around these rocks and get that engagement in maybe not a way that you're used to, not an order of operations that you're used to, might change the way that you approach. You already did see Brendan. I don't know how on purpose this was. Brendan did already bump one of his ships. You see that red squadron X-wing.
Yep.
The blue one is kind of at a funky angle, and I think that may have been a reveal order issue there.
Might have been. Very well could be.
But then also, so he bumped into Finn, who moves first. So, I mean, it is what it is. But you know one thing that can happen that's really, really funny is those slight angles. It'd be really hilarious to see that slight angle on the X-wing actually end up helping Brendan at some point if he can barely get some things.
Sometimes it can happen, but at least in the early goings of the game here, it can end up being a little bit more of a downer than a advantage, right? Because you have to pay extra careful attention, and Faan's not going to give you anything.
No, he will not.
Like you can't. You give him an inch, he'll take a mile, right? That's how the old saying goes.
That's right. I mean, we've both talked about it on our shows. The fact that his run in Galaxies has been extraordinary, right?
Historic.
Yep.
Like legitimately crazy.
Because these fields, they've been absolutely stacked. He's got a lot of experience with the chassis. And I would say the only thing that Faan doesn't have, well, I mean, it's obvious. He doesn't have the Initiative 4 and doesn't have Predator available to him in this squad. But he does have a lot of experience with the movement, which when you saw Faan flying these, no offense to anybody else who's flying bugs, there was just a little bit of extra, there was more polish on the decision-making when it came to what maneuvers to perform. So it's interesting to see. I wanted to get it on the stream at a point where it really started coming down to the wire, and we're here. We got top 8, we got top 4, and then we're in the finals, and we're going to crown our galactic champion. Super excited about that. Will it be Faan? Will Faan win 2 planets and the whole shebang, the galactic championship?
He legitimately could, Dion. He's got the skills, and these Nantexes are not to be trifled with.
So right now, if I look at the betting for chat, okay, there is 70.26% of the bets That is over
The
a
Trevor
million
bet.
points. Over a million points are on Faan right now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
Intense.
there is 29% of the people who have bet on Brendan. Now, here's the thing: Brendan does have the firepower to punch through this.
Oh, he absolutely does. There's no question.
The matched initiative on Rose and those reds could make the difference, and it really depends on where, when we get that first engagement, who gets that bigger bite of the apple.
Right.
Now, one of the things with Merrill Coben at that Initiative 1 is usually a ship that you want, has intimidation on there, right? You're looking for blocks in order to reduce the agility. That's not going to happen with these Nantex unless you block them in a position where they cannot use their tractor, which is going to be really difficult to do. But you can still go for blocks and take away the focus tokens. Obviously, the crack shots are super powerful. There's 5 of them on the table. Crackshot is really that good, guys. We've talked about it all the time. I know people were there. I remember seeing people complain when it was set at 2 points. Honestly, Crackshot is fantastic, and the more of them you take it, the cumulative effect it has, it's just absolutely fantastic. And
you could make an argument that it's still undercosted at 2 points if we're being honest with one another. Like there are lots of arguments to be made about that.
Or maybe that it should be costed by like number of copies in your list or something like that.
They could, number of copies. There are any number of ways that you could maybe consider doing it.
Yep, that's pretty interesting. So it looks like some people are still trying to place bets. We'll go ahead and we'll open it up for one more turn since we still have some space here. And I'm not surprised that they are taking their time. Brendan should not. I don't think he should rush in the rocks to try to pin down these Nantex. Take your time. Find
I'm inclined to agree, Zion, but both players. I think more Brendan than Faan wants to get this happening pretty soon. Again, like. These Nantex do take time to all of these ships take time to beat down a little bit. And what Faan will do is he'll probably use that Techno Union bomber. He'll be aggressive with it because if they're shooting at the bomber, they're not shooting at the Nantex, right?
Yep,
so whatever you can get out of that thing is just value.
100%. All right, and it looks like we got a bit of a slow roll from the back line.
Faan wants Brendan to come to him. He wants to dictate the terms of this engagement. It just depends whether Brendan will bite on it.
Interesting. I can't believe that's. It's intentional, right? Like he's slowing down his squad.
Yeah, it is curious, isn't it, Dion, what the play here is.
Now, I will tell you, Brendan is a really good player. So, like, these very well could be tactical bumps. And there's
he might be looking to slow the game down too, right? Like, listen, Faan, I'm not coming to you. Like, you're going to have to come to me, and I'll bump myself and slow roll and do what I have to do, right?
Yep. Nicholas, can we please swap out the turret indicator on Merrill, the A-wing, please, when we have a second? So we got some barrel roll shenanigans there from the from that Nantex, getting closer to that cloud. Remember, important note that they must rotate when they take the tractor. It's not optional.
Yep.
And it is an action. So if they're stressed, they can't actually take the tractor. They need to be able to do the entire, all the steps. They got to be able to take the tractor and in order to do the rotate.
Worth mentioning because you haven't shown the Nantex a lot on stream, Dion. Right?
We might have some newer people who haven't seen it, but it's important because we showed it a decent amount, when it came to the cut and stuff, which is the most watched games.
Yeah, totally.
There we go. We got some We Are Data chants in the in the chat.
Yeah,
That's
for real.
right. Typo X-Wing asking, how many dice does a Nantex get on a final salvo? You choose one of your primary weapon numbers. So it would be 3.
Yeah.
Great question. Great question. It's actually pretty common. People ask the same question about like the Resistance Bomber, for instance. All right.
Though if you're bringing the Resistance Bomber, I don't think you're going for final salvo if you can help it.
No, it's yeah. No choice. It is the highest value. Sorry about that. So, I mean, why wouldn't you pick the highest value? You want to win, right? But yeah, I guess it is stated in the rules, must. Unless you're trying to sandbag. I don't know why you would. Why'd you play the game? I have no idea.
Sandbag it. Yeah, I'm just going to roll like 4 less final salvo dice. It's fine.
To make it fair for collusion.
The collusion.
Now, as we continue here, I want to remind you that this round and all of our rounds are brought to you by Curl Paw Creatives. They've been a long-time sponsor, literally for years now. So if you need that acrylic goodness, by the way, they are the company that made our awesome Galactic Championship templates. They do lots of custom work as well. So if you have a design that you'd like made for your local or for yourself, you know, Andrew does an absolutely amazing job. I will tell you the designs that I send him. You know, I send him. It's really polished. It's just not in like the right format, usually for cutting and all that. But he can take care of that as long as you have an idea of what you want. He can take care of you, and just make sure you let him know that Gold Squadron sent you. Well, yeah, use that coupon code Coruscant 2020 for 20% off. Now, speaking of Coruscant 2020.
Yes.
Speaking of Coruscant 2020, we had 192 invites go out. 192 invites go out, and 188 of them got picked up.
Got it.
People responded, which was absolutely amazing. We had over 7. Listen to this number. We had over, I think it's 700 unique players throughout all of the qualifiers.
Nice. That's great.
Okay. And if you just go through the rosters, you go through the names, it is absolutely amazing to see the quality of X-Wing player that is participating in this. I mean, we have world's caliber players playing in this tournament, and it has been awesome to provide this for this opportunity for players to play in a time where we can't play. So thank you to every player who has participated in it. It makes a huge difference. Thank you to everybody who's watched it, because again, if you guys didn't care about it, none of this matters. So thank you so much. And we did talk about the continued plans. You know, are we going to continue doing stuff for you guys? And the answer is, of course we are. The next series upcoming, the Gold Squadron Flight Club Championships, which is going to be focused more around list building. We'll talk some more about it later. But it looks like players are getting set to go. I mean, there's a lot of ships on this table. Where do we think the momentum's going? Is Brendan going to be bringing that A-Wing in?
I hope not. Like, the worst thing you want to do is get tickled when you're playing with fire, right? Like, oh, well, where did that phrase come from? I like that. Like, if you don't want Merrill to be facing down the might of those Nantex bugs all by himself, I think he's trying to bait the Nantex in that direction, and the Nantex are going to keep circling. Like, Faan's going to be patient. Like, he is going to circle way outside that right side of the board. Like, he'll be, when the engagement happens, it happens. But Faan will refuse to take a bad engagement, which is the mark of, like, a good X-Wing player.
Mm-hmm. And right now, I kind of want to take a second and take a peek at at these players' names and try to remember where everybody's from. So Marcel, USA. Ernestus, I'm not entirely sure. Faan, I believe, is the Netherlands. Brendan is out of Australia. Charlie, South Africa. Steve Cotillo, not sure where Steve is from off the top of my head. I have to look at. Nicholas Tobin, USA. Tim King is in the UK. It's pretty awesome. Actually, I think Ernestus is from Latvia. I believe he's from Latvia, if I'm not mistaken. I think I heard that as I was moving the table mic earlier. So, I mean,
nice.
Just the spread of people around the world is also really great. And there are players that cannot normally, due to financial circumstances, can't travel, to Worlds level events. So to have access to something like this is great. All right, but looks like Merle did not get in the engagement, but is going to be duking it out here with that Hyena bomber.
Sure. This is big that Faan's moving second in this as well. Like that's pretty crucial to the matchup.
All right, are we gonna get some boost action? Maybe bring some aggro onto that Hyena bomber. But I think, like you said, Ryan, if that Hyena bomber is doing the Biggs effect and absorbing some shots and can cause a distraction, could be a big up for Faan.
No question about that. I mean, Faan's okay serving that up if it moves him closer to his overall end game.
And he does boost. Reaching for some shots. I think we're going to have our first engagement here. Will the Nantex be hitting it as well? That's my question.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Absolutely.
Okay, bringing in those other Nantex as well. Rose staying in the back because she likes to keep her friendlies in front. And just takes a focus there. Let's find out where the rest of the Nantex are. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Faan brings them in here. Remember, they can move quite fast. And looking at some of the angles, I feel like 2 turns on the green and blue Nantex on the bottom right-hand side of your corner would line up that bullseye real nicely.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a 1 bank.
Yeah, Faan playing a little cautious there. I think Brendan did jump on this at maybe a turn early, which is good to get some damage on that Techno Union bomber. I think that Brendan might like the engagement that he's getting right here. Now, Rose needs to be moved up a little faster, but he's definitely avoided a situation where all of these Nantex are facing all the same direction with their bullseyes ready to go, right?
Yep.
They're sort of spread out a little bit. You've got that cloud in the middle, right? And one good thing about these X's, Dion, is they'll each be able to do 1 banks next turn up through that gap on the right, and they'll get their actions and they won't be blocked by the Nantex.
100%. Now, people were asking about the actions on the X-Wings. Both of them boosted to get into the position that they're in, which is why we're saying Brendan has sped up a little bit of the engagement. But we'll see how Faan has been able to to respond there by bringing those Nantex in as well. Not as fast as maybe what we thought, but we're going to have a range 2 and 3 engagement. Okay. I'm going to make sure to have my table mic ready, so I'm ready to do these dice because we're going to have a lot of shots coming in, guys.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that.
People calling for the parking lot. First player is Brendan. All right, here we go.
So where do you go
X-Wing
here, Dion? I think you just go after the Nantex, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you have the arc, you make sure that you have multiple shots on one, which it looks like blue should be able to grab that green Nantex here. And here's our first shot. 2 hits. Defending from range 3, was able to get both evades. Squiggles in the chat.
That's wow, yeah.
All right, taking another range 2 shot from blue. Again, unmodified. Outside of heroic. Another hit crit. Those are both going to stick. We're getting hit crit on the green Nantex right away.
Wow.
The crit is a wounded pilot. That actually does matter there, guys. After you perform an action, roll an attack die, and a hit or crit, gain a stress token. That includes the rotate.
Yeah, these Nantex fighters don't love to be stressed. That X will benefit from the cloud.
Mm-hmm. And got the 2. Defending, we got 3 dice. Should be 4, shouldn't it? Or was it? Let's see. Nope, it was not obstructed. Not obstructed, so that's why it was only 3. It was close, though. Blanks out on that one. Here's the green Nantex going range 2 on that same X-Wing. Ooh, got a hit crit. Oh, double blanks. Heroic. All right, they've got a conversion there. Shields are down. Not quite half points.
Yeah, he's taking some punishment not having the mods here.
Now, this one's the one that's going to hurt. We got crack shot on. Spends a focus for 3.
Uh-oh.
Blue will use crack shot. That's going to be 2 damage going through.
Still okay, though. Still alive, right?
That's all you need sometimes. Range 3, same target.
A lot of shots.
1 crit.
I think the X will get away, though, which is good.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Stays alive. Well, at least that Techno-Union bomber still has to go, but you got to feel okay about surviving that.
Finn is too far outside. Merrill will go first.
Yep.
It is a range 1 shot. They're going to be trading there at range 1. 3 dice. Here we go. Hit, crit. Just a crit. Sorry, I said hit, crit. He didn't have a focus.
Yeah, no focus.
Has a calculate there. Now, automatic target priority does trigger there, and we're going to give Merrill a calculate on that card. I believe we see it placed, yes, right above that card right there. You guys haven't seen it? Right over here. And we're back to dials, Ryan. So Faan up 23-18 after our initial engagement. Oh. Did I lose you, Ryan?
I'm sorry, my mic was muted. I've been talking for like a couple of, nothing was happening. I was like, what? Weird, Dion's not responding to me. Who came out? Who's coming out on top? Who came out on top on this opener, Dion?
I mean, it's Faan. I feel like Faan had the position this turn, but the fact that Brendan didn't lose that X-Wing, I think is a big deal. It's a big deal because it's also that initiative 3. It's going to get an opportunity to shoot next turn. I think you were right. We have those 1 banks available. 2 turn, I think, would be a little bit too aggressive. But you got to remember that these Nantex also have those side arcs, right? So I would probably see the hurt Nantex, the green one, try to maybe zoom forward and take some side arc shots at Rose, who will probably be
let's crucially not forget that Techno Union bomber gets to go first.
Ooh.
And he could clog up that lane between that asteroid and that gas cloud.
Clog them up, clog them up. Clog them up, clog them up. I like that move.
And we're already almost halfway through this game. A little over halfway.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're there. I mean, they spent some time jockeying for position. We're going to see who ends up on top here. I do have to take a second and say thank you to, pulling up my list here. Looks like we had some donations made as we were getting in there. So thank you to Conehead 76 and Flange Heads, double heads there, Conehead and Flange Head 6, as well as some Prime subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We were at 262 subs. We were only a few away from giving away that full Coruscant set, and if we get to 400, somebody will win the opportunity to change the banner on the Fly Better Facebook page. I think whoever wins it should put the face of the champion.
I think so too. So yeah, do that.
Yeah. I make my Photoshop skills available, by the way, for the winner.
Oh, man. This is going to get real rough. Weird. We only got 399 subs.
Get some PMs from Ryan. Lower the number.
Lower it. Lower it.
Alrighty. So
I know where you live.
You do.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of jockeying for positioning here. I mean, is the fight going to be happening right there in the middle between this cloud and this rock?
I'll be honest here, maybe, but Finn and Rose need to get into this fight. Going a little fast there aggressively was okay in theory for Brendan, but the rest of his ships didn't. He allowed himself to get shot at a lot. That X-wing took. His hammer, that X-Wing took a lot of damage. And, I mean, that X-Wing is not long for this world, for sure, unless he can do something pretty cheeky and get out of some arcs.
It's true.
Nice move with Merrill there.
All right, I like that. I like that. And shout out to Tycho1707 for busting some subs. And here's the block attempt. You talked about it. There it is.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. And clogging up that lane. Very smart.
Now, a 3 hard with those X-Wings gets around the block, at least the blue one.
Bumping with Finn. Really interesting choice there. Finn's the guy you usually want to have all those actions. Now, I mean, Finn has to go first, obviously, because he's the 2. But the choice to do that, I find very fascinating. But he's got that ATP.
All right, there's the 3.
Avoids the block, which is good. Probably saw it coming.
All right, and going to be landing on that cloud. We'll get the roll here in a moment.
Really interesting.
Now, a note about Brendan. Brendan is in Australia, so we might be seeing some fatigue. I will tell you from the table mic, Brendan is expressing the fact that he is tired. He's in. Is it tomorrow already in Australia?
I don't know if it's the future.
It might be.
I mean, it's definitely the future, but is it the future into tomorrow?
Yeah, somebody give me a time check on Australia.
It is 7 a.m.
7 a.m. Monday.
Wow.
And Faan is also, he's in the Netherlands, so it's pretty late over there as well. All right, now the flexibility that having matched initiative on Faan's side here with these Nantex, absolutely huge.
Yeah, he'll choose the order in which he wants to move these guys. And I can't help but think that Fawn's got a pretty solid advantage at this moment.
And that's what we talked about right there. That Nantex is zooming out of here.
And rotate to the rear.
You can't go to the back, can only go left and right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the rear, like left, right. But that means he can still get a shot on that X if he wants it through the cloud, or even shoot at Rose. But probably, you know, he'll take a look at what his best options are as he goes. See if he gets the strain. Oh, yeah, going after Rose.
Yep, and goes forward to do the arc dodge.
Mm-hmm. Bump
hey,
there.
Ryan, peek at the stream.
What?
Peek at the stream.
I'm looking at it now.
Look at that bottom bar on the bottom.
Oh, boy. 414. Very exciting. Crushed the goal. Weird. It turns out I did dissolve Facebook, and the group's gone. Very strange. Very odd. How did that happen? That's awesome.
All right, so Faan didn't set the dial for Brown. Tournament rules are a 2 white forward.
That's almost like fine.
Does hit the rock.
Oh, yeah, that's not fine. Takes a damage for it.
That's a damage on the Brown Nantex. Again, little misplay there. Some fatigue showing.
Weird. That's unlike Faan.
But he has a tractor shenanigan, so he's going to be able to roll off the rock.
Yeah, no doubt. But he's going to roll off that rock into, like, right into where green can shoot at him as well.
And he's going to boost himself forward.
Yep. It's fine. Going to go after Rose.
And Heminator gets us those 33 gifted subs to get us to 414. Thank you so much. Here we go. We're getting into the engagement. Range 1 from Brendan's X-Wing. Looking for a hot roll here.
Yeah, he needs something.
This one's unobstructed. 2
dice. Or 2 hits. And he will get 3. Or is that one tractored? No. So he will get 3 dice.
Oh,
2
2
blanks so far. So one's going through no matter what. Yeah, so 1 damage onto blue.
All right, so starting to move some damage all the way around. Here goes Rose. Looking at the options. It's tempting to go into that Techno Union Bomber, but I mean, is it worth it? It's least amount of points.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's going range 3 obstructed at yellow.
I think I would just go up to the Techno Union and get the damage where you can get it, if I'm being honest. So unlikely that you're going to hit on some of these shots. And I mean, Rose is very likely to get 2 hits here with her rerolls, but it's still, yeah, precarious to say the least. Like, look how many dice you're going to get. You're going to tell me that one of those 5 dice is not going to be an evade?
Mm-hmm.
Because look at the cloud conversion. I think he might be considering changing his mind.
Yeah, well, he's got the focus. No, he rolled the dice already. They're
gone.
Did
he?
They've left his hand.
Oh, do not spend that focus, my guy. Oh, no, this is bad. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
And evaded.
Easy evade. Now you're taking a range 1 shot back from this style. Guys, what? Don't do it.
Range 2 bullseye coming in.
That's going to be... this is going to hurt.
And that's 3 hits.
3 natty hits.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for that X-Wing. Didn't even get that other shot off.
We hardly knew you.
Yeah. And this is going to hurt for this one, too.
Now, the blue one has already used crack shot, so that's not available here. And 2 hits and 2 crits.
Bump didn't matter. Just going to drop 3 shields just like that.
Shield's gone.
Wow.
Another bullseye shot. Range 2. Only 3 dice. Got 2 hits. Has crack shot
he just
available.
rolled 9 dice and only a single blank. Incredible.
And crack to take both.
Wow. And Rose could be dead here too. Very possible. Let's see if that not having that focus is going to come into play here.
2 hits.
Yep.
Has no other friendly ships in that arc, so not going to get any rerolls.
So loses 1 shield.
He's going to crack shot to do them both. Shield and a card. Half points.
Use them while you got them.
Now, I think most likely, something I do want to bring up, I know I would wager that, let's get this shot first, and then I'll say what I'm going to say. Range 1. 3 dice. Just 1 because no focus.
Yep. Oh, no focus token for Rose. We'll reroll.
Buddy
Ends
in the
up being
arc.
fine. Ends up being fine.
Initiative 2.
And this is where you wish Finn had all his stuff, right?
And going for blue.
Yep, as he should.
Yeah, no mods over there.
Could also go range 1 is that Techno Union because Meryl's got a shot at it as well, but he'll go after blue. See if he can squeak through another damage. Nope.
I mean, with mods, that would have been 3 hits. The normal Finn's shenanigans.
I just find it incredible that he allowed Finn to bump there. Obviously, fatigue comes into play. A lot of things come into play here, but Finn's the one guy that's like you can't let him bump.
And that's going to be 1 because of the calculate from the automatic targeting.
Mm-hmm.
Got
but
the squiggles.
Easily evaded. Yeah, Brendan's in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to try and finish off this X-Wing. If that X-Wing goes, I think it's pretty much game.
And 2 hits.
Oh, man. Faan's dice are on fire.
Adding 1 more. 2 dice.
Heroic?
Heroic. Do it again. Looking for the natties. Oh, almost. Still
Lives
takes
on
1.
Lives on 1. So he'll get another shot, which is, I mean, if you're Brendan, you're glad you're getting 1 more turn out of the guy. And it'll probably be it'll more than likely be a K turn here because he's not getting his action anyway. Again, going over that cloud.
So one of the things I want to talk about going into this, I would guess that this game, Brendan is definitely right now on the backside, right? 84-18. You kind of see the writing on the wall. You got the red squadron, only has 1 hull left. And then you don't have enough tools to probably take down the rest of this squad. But I still want to give Brendan props. He's gotten this far. He qualified for the event, made it into the top 8 in a stacked field. So he, yes, did he? I am starting to doubt whether those bumps at the beginning of the game, starting with that first one with the X-wing, was intentional. I'm questioning it. Whether it could be fatigue. Definitely, it's a factor with this worldwide type of championship, and it's something that every player who's not in the time zone where we start has taken into account, depending on when we play. Now, I will tell you, my plan for future Galaxies is that the finale event next year will actually not be in the United States. We won't do it in the United States time zone. It'll be in the European time zone, most likely, just to take that finale event and flip-flop it back and forth. I think that's fair. That's fair. I took it at Chicago the first time because it's my tournament. And
I agree. Yeah, it's fair, but you don't have to do that at all. You can run Chicago every year if you wanted.
8-bit deity. I that sounds nice. Running it in the time zone of the winner. I think that sounds real nice, but that logistically, that's not always going to work. So that's why I wouldn't want to. That's why I wouldn't do that. Yeah. So I will tell you just from the numbers. So for instance, if we ran it in Australian time zone, we'd have the lowest turnout. It's just the truth. The data supports it. Makes me sad, but it's true.
A huge chunk of the Australian community has moved on to Marvel Crisis Protocol.
All right.
Interesting that Meryl evades there.
Well, Meryl's ability, right, is to yeet that evade around.
Yeah.
So relying on the advanced targeting protocol. Is it advanced? Automated.
It's not that advanced, just automated.
And it has that calculated on it, so able to have
Hoping
a defensive.
that Finn did like a 2 or 3 forward here, or something, so he can get shots. But Faan's smart. I don't think he'd allow himself to be in front arc of Finn. The Finn's shotgun.
And Finn is going to bump with the 1 straight.
Oh, why is he doing that? Why?
I think he probably guessed with his planning moves that the boost wouldn't have reached as far with Merle. And again, once you commit to that boost, I'm sure he saw it, but there's nothing he could do at that point. One hit takes a strain from the cloud. And the brown Nantex taking a focus. Yellow will likely take the rotate by going forward. And there it is.
Yeah.
Gets a focus for the action. And remember, with Tractor, you don't actually have to move. So
yeah, you can stay there.
Decided just to hang out.
Mm-hmm. And he's just gonna arc dodge there.
And we'll give you guys a different view from the patron cam. I see some people asking about tokens and stuff like that. But if we go here, you guys can see that that X-Wing does, in fact, have a stress and a strain on it. Everything's on the up and up.
Look at the job Faan has done here. Just literally arc dodging the entirety of this and probably getting the bullseye. Gonna finish off that Red Squadron expert this turn. He knows how to fly these, man. The only thing, Faan, well, red will have actually on a range 2 on brown, which might be the best bet to go after. Though brown isn't tractored, so you could go after yellow instead and try and strip that focus.
Here we go. 1-2 eyeball.
Yep.
Triple focus is at least you're focusing forcing the focus expenditure there.
Yeah.
Rose coming up.
Getting a reroll.
No result there, but he's going to get a damage.
Yeah, but the damage climb is just so almost insurmountable. It's going to be so hard with losing these X's to...
We got 2 hits coming in now from the side arc. Special
3.
focus. There's 3.
Yeah, that's going to be a dead X-Wing.
Got him.
And Finn or Rose is going. He's firing at Rose here. I think I would shift to Finn because he's so much harder to kill when he's got tokens.
That's true.
That, you know, it's not, I mean, easy money, you know? But regardless, you're going to finish off Rose. So.
Haminator in the chat says, Hive Minds are 33 points for everybody except for Faan. 34 points for Faan. Here you go. Here's a shot into Finn you were talking about. That's 2 hits. Finn is absolutely defenseless here. Needs natties. Gets 1.
So Finn will lose a shield. Every health is precious on him.
Another shot going into Finn. I mean, Finn is, when he has his tokens, is the most versatile ship and most powerful ship in his list. Natty's out.
Yep, he gets out. But he's got another range 1 shot he has to contend with here.
And we have a range 1 shot going out the side. Same target.
So no focus there.
Just 1. We got the
So
squiggle.
Finn will get away, losing only a shield.
And Finn from downtown has not been able to modify those dice. Unfortunately, not having access to actions due to bumping. Rose is off the table. Green X-Wing's off the table. So we'll get Rose removed from the board real quick here. Score 122 to 18. Finn's got hit crit.
Interesting.
Not today.
Okay. Yeah.
Just a shadow of his normal self. Just a shadow.
I know.
And here's a shot into the red Hive Mind. 2 hits. Not today. Not today.
Yeah, just getting everything he needs, man.
And I mean, one thing I think it's important, especially for newer players, to remember is while Faan, like you said, has gotten some of the dice that he's needed, he's also put himself in the right spot.
No doubt about it.
In that initial engagement, he was able to line up 4 different bullseyes?
Yeah. Yep.
And just had everything he needed to do maximum damage. Crack shot being used, took advantage of the mistakes made by Brendan.
Right. Absolutely.
The chat saying Faan doing Langelaan things. I mean, yeah,
he is.
doing everything he's gotta to win the game, staying conservative, making the smart plays. And I think going into it, the having a bit of a bid and being able to move after Brendan was also an advantage, even going into this game.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it starts to feel it starts to feel very similar to the Initiative 4. It was no Predator, but just having that full amount of information and being able to move those tractors with being able to see what your opponent does first, really, really powerful and an absolute key to the strategy on these guys.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that, Faan has this one in the bag. Like, I'm not even going to say barring catastrophe, because I can't think of any potential catastrophe other than, like, cheating or flying off the board that would not give this to Faan. There's just not enough firepower on the table for him to manage. Brendan's got the disadvantage in initiative, firepower, and ship count.
So I want to remind everybody that we still do have 2 more matches happening after this. We got the top 4 and then the final. We'll take a peek at the lists that are in the top 4 once this game is over. The green Nantex taking that focus token, continuing on here. Finn, for the first time, does have his double focus. Going to be facing down that red Nantex.
Right.
Brown and blue basically getting into position. Now, a couple people in the chat asking about do we think that the points are still okay on the Nantex? And I'm going to say yes. I think the performance here, while Faan has the tools, this is more a testament to Faan's skill and being able to use powerful tools.
This is not what Faan's doing. Is not an easy thing to do with these ships. Like, he's only got 5 of them. They're Initiative 3 now. They're much more vulnerable to Initiative 4. So going, Finn does all this stuff.
Yeah, Finn takes a strain to add a focus result, spends a focus to add that third evade, so no damage there. Oh, sorry, I turned it off because I was moving some stuff around on my screen.
He actually just took a damage card.
Yeah, he takes 1. He changed it. He took 1 there.
Oh, he did take 1? Sorry about that. Oh, because he only rolled 1 focus. He added the second one. Got it. All right, 2 more defense die, and takes another strain, spends a focus.
Yep. And now his offense is super
Never surrender. And here's that bullseye shot lined up.
Hey, Dion, do you smell that?
Yes.
This smells like a dead big deal.
Hit, crit. There is 1 squiggle there, and that's enough. Wounded pilot. The big deal, gone. And here we go, another shot. 2 hits going in the Merle. The last ship left in Brendan's list. Now, at this point, this is just an exercise in playing.
Playing it out, yeah. What do you think Brendan could have done better in this game to have maybe tilted it more in his favor, Dion?
Well,
looking back at it,
the approach vector just didn't favor him, right? One of the things I was worried about going into it is taking the curve that he did, the fact that the Nantex have the flexibility to use the side arc, but also turn on a dime and being able to adjust with the tractor, they were able to get those bullseyes pointed right between those two obstacles where that entire resistance squad was coming through.
No doubt.
I think a more patient Joust would have done much better. I think we still likely you have the advantage going towards Faan, but I honestly think if they would have just met face to face, there would have been much more damage on Faan's side.
No, I'm definitely inclined to agree. I think that the problem was when he sped forward with no focuses there. You boosted forward trying to get into the engagement a little bit faster. Mm-hmm. That's problematic because you don't have those mods and all of your guns aren't activating at the same time. When you're running a jousting squad or an attrition squad, you have to be able to ensure that all your guns are focused on your engagement. And a lot of times you see, when you're running like 4+ ships, you need to converge at just the right moment. And having Finn and Rose out of the fight there, and then 2 of your X's without mods, it's not the kind of engagement you want to get.
All right. We have 14 minutes left. Excuse me about that. Want to remind you guys that we are doing some giveaways after this. We got the 400 and the 375 prizes to give away. Super excited about that.
As you should be.
At the end of the top 4, we'll be giving away that ticket to the Lima Open. Of course, person who claims it needs to be available to play 28th and 29th of November. We're going to be streaming that here on Gold Squadron Podcast. It's not a Gold Squadron event, but just helping out my South American fam. They said, hey, could you stream it? I was like, well, let me see if I'm available.
That's real cool of you, Dion. You're a real cool dude.
I try. Making up for all my time in high school and middle school.
Dion, there is, and then we have a little bit of time, there's an important announcement that we need to make.
Okay.
Freddy Focus is up for adoption.
He is.
And he is, and Freddy Focus is really good. He's made of 100% pure acrylic. If you don't know what goes into an acrylic-based creature with real emotions, there's 18,000 times the heart of a human, and only 6 times the soul. So you get not great of a bargain on the soul, but an acrylic friend is your friend for life. That's a life bond you get. And so if you want to adopt Freddy Focus, all you got to do is go to curledpodcreatives.com, use promo code Coruscant 2020 for 20% off, and you can get yourself a friend who's got your back. He can he's got his eye on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to get him away from Trevor Tractor. Not friends with that guy. And Steven Stress.
Steven Stress, a bully.
Steven Stress is a bully. Freddy Focus and Steven Stress are not friends. Not even a little. So
yeah,
help a guy out.
A Fish is Born is asking if Freddy Focus has 7 identical brothers. Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And they're all named Freddy. They're literally all named Freddy. Jimmy Jam and Freddy Focus are not on quite as strong terms, if we're being honest.
Spends for 2 here. Got the natties.
Much respect for Brendan to continue playing this out, though.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to. I tell the players they can concede whenever they want. But you know what? Some people have the mindset. Never surrender. Get every last point you can.
Every last point.
No shots with the back arc. Merrill's down to half points. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a shot there. The red Nantex. Spend the calculate for 2. Both going to be going in. You know what's funny here, Ryan? Every single one of these ships of the Nantex have taken damage. The only undamaged ship is the Techno Union bomber.
Wow. I mean, credit where credit's due for Brendan. He didn't really take the bait on it.
Takes a crit here. It's a hull breach.
Yikes. 1 health and a dream. Merrill is desperately attempting to call home. Excuse me, I want to talk to my son, Freddy. Daddy's not coming home for dinner.
Oh.
I want you to know, Freddy, that it was the bugs who did it. The bugs killed your father.
Oh, my goodness. You know, Ryan, what you're going to make me do is I'm going to go grab my giant Curl Paw Creatives tokens and have to like put little hats on them and make a little scenes.
You 100% need to do that and make it a shirt, and I'll buy it. And it's got to look like one of those like Disney Junior or Nick Jr. like Disney for kids, like Saturday morning cartoons or whatever.
I was thinking like a holiday shirt. I think it kind of
has a sweater, a holiday sweater with Freddy Focus and the gang. It should be just like Schoolhouse Rock. That's what I have it pictured in my head.
Right.
Man, Dion, you know music. You know the Schoolhouse Rock like "I'm a Bill" song. Maybe we need to do some of those for X-Wing. I'm a focus, yes. I'm a focus, yes. I convert eyeballs so you can win, yes.
I think we need a few more lyrics other than yes, but we can get there.
It literally is just yes at the end of every sentence. I actually don't even know how "I'm a Bill" goes. Faan and Brendan are looking back at this game in the future, watching this, being like, what are these guys talking about? They're not even commentating on the game. And I'm over here like, Faan, you got it in the bag. I don't know what to commentate on.
Well, I mean, we talked about their high level play. We congratulated the players. They've done everything they needed. They're just playing it out at this point. Yeah, I think it's the conclusion of this game is here. I think the reason why players will watch this all the way to the end, it is important to close out a game. We have seen, now it's not going to happen here. I have seen players take their foot off the gas towards the end and it be their undoing. We've seen some crazy stuff, especially if you end up leaving alive a ship that has that type of staying power. So, for instance, I know this isn't the timeline we went down. Finn is a very defensive and offensive ship.
No doubt about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if Faan, for instance, left Finn alive and he just kind of putzing around like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Finn could go around and just start shotgunning these Nantex easily.
Yeah, you could.
So
Absolutely could.
It's always important to close out the game. Close out strong. One hit. Now, of course, this A-Wing is going to just look like a god, right, for the rest of the game?
Of course. He's not going to roll a single blank. He's going to make us watch.
One hit. One squiggle.
Merrill telling Freddy one final bedtime story in his cockpit. I
love you, Freddy. 2 hits. Is the Techno Union Bomber the one that's going to put this away?